All right, we're recording. And hello, everyone. This is Matthew Solomon here, coach with MatthewSolomon.com. And this is part of my March meditation series where I am committed to doing a daily meditation every day here to show how easy and accessible and beneficial meditation is. And I'm so excited to have my good friend Sushila Battagione with me. We've been Facebook friends for several years, and Sushila is a healer and a mystic and does all kinds of stuff. And you've made candles for me and done tarot readings and and healings over the phone as well. And I just love everything that you post. You're a big stand for empowering women and healing men and everything in between. If you would just share a little bit about yourself and what you do and all of that.
Sure. I have been 100% a self-employed entrepreneur for 5 years now, ever since my little one was born. I decided that I was going to get out of the rat race and do the things that I was most passionate about and that were going to support me and my family, not just financially, but emotionally and spiritually as well. I have a really, really long background in multiple spiritual studies and practices and traditions. I've been a tarot reader for over 20 years. And what I'm most passionate about is finding ways to support people, particularly women, but men also, in empowering themselves. So providing tools, providing a framework, providing a ton of space holding so that people can figure out on their own how to step into their power, how to harness their magic, and feel really embodied and emboldened in this life and connected to whatever it is that they consider to be divine or the universe or source. So that's what gets me excited. I do a lot of work with women in both one-on-one and group capacities. I do work with men one-on-one. I'm just this year starting to integrate group work for men as well, around healing previous wounds, either from childhood or ancestral trauma that we inherit from generation to generation, and just the pressure that's put on us in a society and in a culture to be certain things and fit into certain boxes that may or may not resonate with us. So a lot of questioning about indoctrination and what do you actually align with and what have you been sort of going along with, and how do you bridge the gap between the two so that you are being the most authentic and integral version of yourself. Yeah.
Awesome. And how can people reach you? And
the easiest way to reach me is probably through my website, which is rippleandknot.com. It's all spelled out. You can email me at sushila@rippleandknot.com, and there's a link on the website to contact me there. I'm really easy to find on Facebook, either my personal page, which is Sushila Battagione. You can follow that. I'm not accepting a lot of friend requests right now. But I do make a lot of public postings, and then I also have a professional page, Ripple and Knot, as well. And Ripple and Knot is also on Instagram. So I'm on a lot of different social media platforms, kind of depending on what your personal preference is. And I try to make sure that there's a little bit of different content on each, but that there's enough overlap that nobody feels like they're missing anything. And my website does link to my blog, where I post anywhere from 1 to 3 times a month, and it pops up in your inbox on Mondays. So that's also a good way to kind of get some information about what I'm up to and where I'm going to be at.
Awesome. And I'll post the links and all of that in the post when I post to Facebook, so everybody can just click on it. Yeah. Cool. So what's the meditation that you're going to lead us in?
I wanted to lead you all in a very traditional Buddhist meditation practice. It's a pranayama practice. So it's focusing on your prana, the energy that naturally moves through your body. And this practice comes from the Vajrayana or Tantrayana tradition. It's a Tummo practice. There are a couple of little contraindications to it that I'll talk about first. But the gist of it, and the reason that this practice is so powerful, is it specifically supports you in processing and digesting emotions. So if you're experiencing really large emotions in the moment of anger or grief or even overwhelming joy, this is a wonderful breathing practice. It's very, very short and succinct that can help you process those so that you're staying in a little bit more balance and you're not feeling like you're on a roller coaster. If you have unprocessed emotions from past trauma or abuse or just simply an issue that you didn't have closure around, this is something that you can do in regards to helping to process and heal those emotions also. And I feel like right now, between political climate, environmental climate, astrology, everything happening,
all the climates are
all the climates are really, really raging. And Tummo practice is such a wonderful tool to have in these moments where you feel yourself starting to get out of control or forgetting that you're on the roller coaster and you aren't actually the roller coaster. So I love this practice. It was taught to me by my Buddhist teacher, Lama Nima, many years ago, over a decade ago, and I still utilize it regularly. I'm super grateful to her and her teachings in spreading this very, very simple practice. So the only contraindications for it are that you don't want to be doing any type really of pranayama work if you are on any type of substance that alters your perception in a way that you would be labeled not safe to operate heavy machinery.
okay.
So you don't want to do it while you're driving. You don't want to do it while you're intoxicated. You don't want to do it on heavy medications. Women are generally cautioned to not do this breath work when you're on the first part of your menstrual cycle, so when you're actively bleeding. And the reason for that is you want your prana and you want your energy moving downward because you're detoxifying, you're flushing your body out. And this energy has a lot of bandhas or locks that hold the energy in different parts of your body, and that can be disruptive to the upon prana that's flowing downward. So those are the main ones. If you have a tendency towards fainting or dizziness spells or anything like that, you might want to check with your doctor first if there's savvy with breath work and things like that to just make sure that it's aligned for you. But generally saying it's a very safe, very gentle practice and great for everyone. I think that if it's one of the first things you do in the morning and first things you do at night, it sets a really solid foundation for you throughout the day. And then you can also use it as needed.
Awesome.
That's a little background about it.
Cool. Yeah.
And we can begin whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
So let's all just take a few deep cleansing breaths. This helps you find your center, remind you that you're in your body. It's easy to get stuck in your headspace. So give yourself a few moments to just bring awareness to the parts of your body that are in contact with the ground. So if you're standing, that would be your feet. If you're seated, it might also be your feet and your bottom or your thighs or your hips. Become aware of those connective points. This particular breath work is always done in and out through the nose. That would probably be the only other contraindication. If you can't breathe through your nose, you're not going to want to do Tummo breath. Too much breath enters your body. That's hard to control when you're mouth breathing. So you want all of your breath throughout this entire process to be in and out through your nose.
Okay.
There's active visualization with it. So I'm going to just speak through the first Tummo breath. You don't need to participate in the first round. It's just so you can hear the rhythm of it. Then we'll take a few natural breaths, and then we'll do the next one together, and we'll do a series of 4. So the first one I'm going to just describe. The next 3 we'll do together, and my descriptions will get shorter as you get more comfortable with the breaths. You can focus on that flow instead of me. Inhaling in through the crown of your head, you're going to bring that breath down as though you were pouring water into a vase. Hold and retain the breath in your heart space. Allow that expansion to form there where you visualize your rib cage actually hinging and opening slightly. You may be able to physically experience that expansion as well. Continue to retain the breath in your heart space until it's no longer graceful. At that time, you're going to exhale just a portion, a sip, maybe a fifth of the breath up and out through the crown. Inhaling again. And this time, allow the breath to settle as low in your belly as is comfortable and natural. That may be the lowest lobes of your lungs. It may drop into your actual belly where your solar plexus is. It may drop all the way down into your pelvic floor. None of the breath is pushed or forced. Just let it naturally drop. Swallow. The swallowing motion will trace and help bring that breath down lower. Soften your belly. Let it expand. Soften the muscles in your thighs and your hips and your gluteals so that there's as much space and expansion as possible in that abdominal area. And you'll begin to generate heat. As that heat generates and it fills your belly, that fire, that Agni, that digested fire, will start to actually process those emotions. When it's no longer graceful to retain the breath, nothing is forced. Exhale all the way up and out through the crown of the head and return to your natural breath for a few breaths before we begin again. So breathe. And we'll begin inhaling in through the crown into your heart space. Hold the breath in the heart. Allow your chest to expand. And when it's no longer graceful, exhale up and out, just a portion. Inhale, drop it down into your belly. Swallow. Soften your belly. Find comfort in the discomfort. And when it's no longer graceful, exhaling up and out through the crown. Return to your natural breath. Inhaling into the crown, bringing the breath into your heart space. Exhaling a portion up and out. Inhale. Bring it down into your belly. And when it's no longer graceful, exhaling up and out. Return to your natural breath for at least 4 breaths. It's common to feel emotions arise during this time. If you're feeling any pressure or tension in your heart space or in any other part of your body, bring awareness to that area with simple observation. There's no reason to be attached to the experience. And remember that if you're allowing yourself to build up that heat and that expansion simultaneously, those emotions will be digested and processed. They're not going to dissolve. They're simply going to turn into raw energy that you can utilize in any way you choose at that point in time. Last round, inhaling in through the crown, into your heart. exhale a portion. Inhale. Drop it down into your belly. Swallow if you need to. And when it's no longer graceful, exhale completely up and out through the crown. Return to your natural breath. And we'll just take a few moments here in shamatha, which is calm abiding, witnessing and being aware of your thoughts without clinging or attaching to them. You can practice shamatha with your eyes closed or with your eyes softly focused on a point 12 to 18 inches in front of you. And as thoughts arise, as they're wont to do, simply remember that they are the same as reflections of clouds on a pool. Impossible to cling to, impossible to stop. And simply let them drift by and return back to your breath and the awareness of your exhalation. And we'll remain here for another moment or so, allowing the processing and the integration of the work that's been done to further complete itself. A few more breaths here. When you're ready, if you haven't done so, you can open your eyes and bring awareness back to your body and your extremities. Take a few deeper breaths than normal. Nice, full exhalations. And just take a moment to notice how your energy in your body feels. Do you feel any stuck spots? Do you feel areas of clarity or further expansion? And neither of those things are necessarily good or bad. It's just a moment to just have more awareness of what's happening inside of your body and what that type of intentional breath work feels like inside of your body. Some people have much more intense reactions or experiences with it than other people do. So just take a moment to notice that and then see how it may benefit you to incorporate in your daily practices. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, thank you so much. I love it's quick, and I mean that first exhale, I had such a rough I was like, whoa, it's really amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Yeah. Cool. I really appreciate you being here and participating in this. And for those of you watching, Sushila can be reached at rippleandknot.com, right? And then your Facebook page is Ripple and Knot. I'll post all the links. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me and thinking of me. I really appreciate it, Matthew.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right.
Thank you.